Let's have a look at question 4 in this video, and it's still related to the production function that we were solving before. So now we have a firm that is a monopolist in the market and has the following demand given by this function. If capital is still fixed at 4, what's going to be the profit that the monopoly makes in the short run? Now, because we're dealing with the monopolist, we have to care about his own profit, and we know that the monopolist does so by making marginal revenue equals to marginal cost. So we're interested to find out the marginal revenue and the marginal cost. We know as a property of the demand function that the marginal revenue is the demand function with twice the slope. So it's just going to be 600 minus 2q. That's going to be our marginal revenue. Now the question is, what's going to be the marginal cost? Well, recall that marginal cost has a relationship with the total cost function, and that's the derivative of the total cost function. If we differentiate the total cost function with respect to quantity, we're going to differentiate 800 plus 2q squared. 800 plus 2q squared with respect to quantity. If we differentiate that, 800 derivative is just 0, 2q squared derivative with respect to quantity, that's just 2 times 2q, so that's equal to 4q, meaning that the marginal cost is going to equal to 4q. Now if we solve it, if we do some math over here, we'll have 600 equals to 6q, meaning that the optimal quantity for the monopolist to maximize his profits is gonna be 100 units, 600 divided by 6. With this in mind, we can find out the optimal price for the monopolist. So the optimal price is gonna equal to 600 minus 100, which is equal to 500. Now with the price and the quantity, we can find out the profit of the monopolist. That's what we're interested in. We want to find out the profit. The profit is going to be the difference between the total revenue and the total cost, and we know the total revenue is going to be the product of the price times the quantity, and the total cost is just the following function from here, 800 plus 2q squared. So let's write that down. It's going to be 800 plus 2q squared over here, 800 plus 2q squared. Now the price and the quantity we already found to be 500 and 100, so that's going to be 500 times 100, so that's 50,000 euros in revenue, minus the cost, which is 800 plus 2 times q squared, and q squared is going to be 100 to the power of 2. So let's write that down, 100 to the power of 2. We can actually solve this in our mind. So 500 times 100, that's going to be 50,000 minus 800 plus 2 times 100 squared, that's 2 times 10,000, which is 20,000. In other words, we're going to subtract 50,000 and we're going to subtract 50,000 and 20,800. And if we do so, as a result, we're going to get 29,200 euros in profit for the monopolist. And that's it. We are done.